I have something I think maybe for clarification. The comment was made that the board has approved those 5 books to remain in circulation. That's not true. That has not been brought to the board for approval. That report is inaccurate. If you got a report that stated that, the board has not taken any action to accept any recommendation.
Good morning, folks. This conversation from Dan Kercher here, he's a board member at Cameron, doesn't make sense to me. And what he's doing here, he is responding to a comment that was made earlier during the public comment session by Mrs. Paula Allen. Paula stated during her address to the board that the board approved the recommendation of the committee and those 5 books, one of them being the book All Boys Aren't Blue that Dan Landy read to them. Here he's saying that that's not true. They didn't approve that recommendation. So Paula was confused because she knows what has gone on. So she reached out to the superintendent, Matt Robinson, to ask about that meeting. She's seeking clarification because she's being responsible and wants to make sure that she wasn't making something up or was incorrect when she addressed the board. And she's asking, the reference was made that the board did not deem the book to remain without restrictions. I apologize, but I can't recall the exact verbiage at the moment, and I can't or couldn't ask during the meeting. Why, under the book review link on the district's website, does it say remain without restrictions if the board has not addressed those books? So Matt Robinson responded, and he's talking about Dan Kercher, referring to the policy, by the way, the policy that they just rescinded on Tuesday night. And the second part was an appeal if either side of the argument disagreed with the committee's recommendation. The first appeal would then go to the superintendent. I would review the book, and if either side disagreed with my decision, they could appeal to the Board of Education. The Board of Education would review the book and have the final say. Okay, 2 things here. First off, this is not, I do not believe what the policy says. Matt Robinson does not have the opportunity to weigh in and decide. My understanding of the policy is he receives the book review committee. If I have a problem with the results of the review committee, I send that challenge to Matt Robinson, who shares it with the board. And then the board votes on what to do with the books, and their vote is the final vote. So he's saying that nobody challenged that book. Well, Paula knows that that's not true because I sent her the challenge. And not only did I send her the challenge, I posted it on the Facebook page. So on the Cameron R1 School District Exposed page, and there's where you can find it, on the 18th of July, I put 3 paragraphs introducing what it is that I was about to share. And I'm explaining that this is part of the policy and the problem that I have with the books. And everything after this that's highlighted in blue is what I sent to the school district. They received it. I know that they did. But you'll notice the opening line in that letter says, this letter serves as my challenge to the book review recommendation findings that you sent me via certified mail. And I go into a lengthy justification for my challenge, saying this is why they have made the wrong choice here. There's a lot here. They absolutely did receive that challenge. I'm not sure why he's saying they didn't. So she responded to Mr. Robinson, and we're still waiting for a response. He isn't at work yet. He won't have seen this. But she says she's very confused because there was an appeal filed. So when, let me back up to the beginning of this. When Dan says they didn't take any vote, well, they should have, because they received this a month prior to the August meeting. They could have voted on it that night on the 3rd Tuesday of the month. And I don't remember what day it was. Anyway, they should have voted on it. They received my response. They had a month to go over it. They could have voted on it at that board meeting. Instead of voting on it, they chose to rescind the policy. When they rescinded that policy, or they didn't rescind it, they paused it. When they paused that policy, that also paused the appeal process, because that was one of the policies that they paused. Sorry, I haven't had all my coffee yet this morning. So he is crying wolf here, but it's because of the little shenanigans that the board has been playing to avoid that vote. What's going on here?